Here we go. Well, I mean, I guess it's not that unimportant that, I stuff up an intro that doesn't exist. Like, consistent intro. I mean, okay, this video is starting off. Okay, so. So. I did a fusion video, like a fusion concept video, a bit ago. I don't actually know how long it was off the top of my head. But as a reminder, I'll pop the rules up. Sorry for it being small, I guess. I was trying to fit it without really reorganizing, but if you can't really read it, I'll just go through the basics. Basically, if I use Pokemon in the fusion, I need to use its abilities, so I can't just use Slacking's stats without giving the Pokemon Truant. The fusions are a max 3-way, because if I didn't have that, I could just make an agglomeration of all, what, like 1019-ish mons at the moment. Unique items, so like Light Bulb Pikachu would still work in the fusion if one of the components was a Pikachu. I can't repeat Pokemon, so, well, I'll just use one of the previous fusions. If I use Walking Wake for a fusion in the first video, I then cannot use it again for this video. Yeah, the Pokemon needs to be directly hittable, so no bull like Poison Dark type Wonder Guard Magic Guard bull. So can't do that because they aren't that fun. I mean, they're fun, but well, they're fun for you to play but not play against, if that makes sense. And I want to have them balanced against each other. And yeah, any form of the Pokemon, this is important for later, any form of the Pokemon will also be taken into account unless that Pokemon requires a second Pokemon to access that form. So, yeah, I can use, for example, Primal Groudon, if I use Groudon in a fusion. However, I can't use, like, Ultra Necrozma. Or, yeah, also I can't use them if they're, like, regional variations / regional evolutions. So, if I use Stantler for the example, Stantler for example, I then can't fuse that Stantler with, hold on, wait, no, Stantler was horrible example, sorry. Overquill, that's a better example. I would not be able to fuse Quillfish and Overquill. Well, I mean, I would be able to do that, but it would take up 2 slots. Never mind. Yeah. So, yeah, the fusions are still bound by the, type and move hold on, what's the word? I don't know. But they're still bound to the same amount as, like, a regular Pokemon. So, yeah. Also, if a, as part of that same rule, if a, Pokemon type is repeated, sorry, brain not really working, but yeah, if it's repeating a type between the thing is, like, for example, in the rules I have an example of Giratina Salamence, which would for sure be dragon, because both Giratina and Salamence are both dragon type. I am allowing myself to fuse the effects of signature moves. That way, in these three-way fusions, the move building stuff is not as cluttered. However, that is a choice, as we will, which is relevant later on, because I actually chose to have this Pokemon have one of its signature moves as a standalone move while I group the rest together. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Basically, if an ability overlaps, I am allowed to tweak it, but otherwise I am unable to change the abilities. Well, I mean, yeah, I just thought that, yeah, my brain just wandered to one of the new fusions, maybe breaking that rule, but also not really. We'll see. Okay, learn sets are combined, so basically if, like, I have Lucario that knows Aura Sphere and Bidoof that, knows Rollout, both those moves would be able to be used by the fusion. Pretty simple. And then, yeah, the stats are just picked from any of the three starters. Alright. So, with that, also, wait, hold on, before we get started, I should probably say that I am doing a new format for this video in comparison to the last video. Why? Because I had gotten feedback from a person, so a person actually came up to me, and said feedback, and the feedback was basically that, that the text is a bit hard to read, and also, to show, like, the Pokemon that is, in the fusion, so that people that aren't as familiar with the, naming conventions of Pokemon still have an idea, or, well, I guess the phrase would be a face to put to the name, or something. Anyway, the first fusion of this second batch, which was just randomly created because I kept on getting ideas. So, the fusion is a fusion between Gliscor, Ursaring, and Azurill. Wait, no, that's a... Nope, that's, sorry, that's Azumarill. Sorry, my brain did the dumb. Azurill is the first form. Right, yes. Right? Damn it, now I'm second guessing myself. Oh well, doesn't much matter. But yeah, these, three Pokemon formed together to a Pokemon called, which I have given the name Tainted Flyer. Again, going with a similar naming convention to the Funny Paradox Pokemon, because, yeah, it just works easily. The fusion concept is, a water ground type, and it has quite the arsenal of abilities, so let's get through that. Okay, so first on the docket, Hypercutter. It's immune to -1 in attack. That's it. Sandveil. Sandveil. Increases evasion in Sandstorm. Poison Heal. Passive healing instead of passive damage when inflicted with the poisoned condition. Guts. Increases attack when inflicted with, like, sleep, burn, para, poison, etc. Which is not actually, like, isn't a stat boost, so it actually stacks with it. Next, we have Quick Feet, which is, again, Guts, but for speed. That's basically it. Unnerve. Opponent cannot eat berries. Yeah, Unnerve is sort of hit and miss. I am not very fussed on it either way. It's in a similar situation to the ability Pressure. But Pressure is more overallly useful, I guess. Anyway, next we have Thick Fat. House damage from fire and ice type moves. And then we have Huge Power. Doubles attack in battle. And that stacks with, like, +6 and also Guts. So, yeah, if I just do a quick little mental calc, so, let me pull up a calculator. Alright, the funny home key doesn't work. Okay, hold on. So, 1.5 Guts times 1.5 to no, that's you know, it doesn't much matter. Just hits hard, okay? And then the final ability on this fusion, well, in this fusion's ability, is Sap Sipper. Instead of taking damage from grass-type moves, you get a +1 in attack instead. Which is pretty cool on a water-ground type, because, I mean, there is no way to hit it for super effective damage. Anyway, on to the stats. I'll start with the total. So, yeah, the total is 605. The HP and Spadef are taken from Azumarill, sorry. Again, brain not really working. The attack and special attack are of Ursaring, and the defense and speed are Gliscor. So 100 HP, 130 attack, 125 defense, 75 special attack, 80 special defense, and 95 speed. And that's basically it. I do have a other category, as you might have been able to read from the first one. However, there is nothing there. Primarily because these three Pokemon do not really have any sort of signature move, per se, that I can combine. But yeah, that is the first one, Tainted Flyer. Anyway, moving along, we have Eerie Copy, a fusion between Basque Legion, Flamigo, which, yes, is literally a Flamingo Pokemon that's name is literally Flamingo with an N randomly dropped. And Tentacruel. Yeah. It's a water ghost type. So, same typing as base Basque Legion. Its abilities consist of Clear Body, meaning that it is immune to all but self-inflicted -1 status conditions, I'm pretty sure. Liquid Ooze, basically like the move Giga Drain. If this Pokemon's targeted by like Giga Drain, the user of Giga Drain will not get HP back. That's something. Rain Dish, heals passively in rain. Rattled, yeah, +1 speed when hit by something that Psychic is weak to, basically. Which, if you don't know what that is, an easy way to remember which types that is common fears, like ghosts, the dark, and bugs. Neat little trick. Adaptability. Stab is 2 times instead of 1.5. You get more damage for basically free. Mole Breaker. So this ability basically just bypasses abilities that may hinder you. So like this Pokemon would theoretically be able to hit, like, for example, a Gastrodon with Storm Drain with a water type move without raising the Gastrodon's special attack. Okay, next we have Scrappy. Ignores ghost type immunities. So the ghost type has 2 immunities, and Scrappy bypasses it. I'm pretty sure Scrappy also got recently buffed to include another effect. I don't have that notated on my notation, so I will just check to see if I am remembering correctly, which I'm probably not, but worth a shot. While I'm looking at this, we have Tangled Feet. 2 times evasion if inflicted with the confused status. That is decent. I mean, it's not part of the main build, it's just like a bonus. So take that as you will. And then the main drawer of this fusion is CoStar, which basically when it's sent in, copies and allies stat changes. Yeah, it's pretty good, especially since we have a setup boy that we just went over. So, yeah. Huh, okay. So I was pulling the scrappy buff out of my bum. Okay, noted. Because, yeah, according to my Pokedex app on my phone, it is just that normal in fighting can hit Ghost. Anyway, time for the stats. The HP and special attack are from Basque Legion, the attack and defense are from Flamigo, and the special defense and the speed are from Tentacool, making the total 629. Being 120 base in HP, 115 in attack, 74 defense, 100 special attack, 120 special defense, 100 speed. And again, there's no additional notation. Anyway, moving on. Okay. This one. This one is interesting, to say the least. Primarily because of one thing, which you will probably notice when I go through them. So, this fusion is a fusion between Ninetales, Gigalith, and Alolan Ninetales. Yep. I called it in my thingy Stony Tails, because it makes sense. It's an ice rock type. So, you can... I know there's probably going to be some that are going to come and bully me saying that that's a horrible typing. Especially for these funny overpowered fusions. However, there was a particular reason why I went with Ice Rock. Okay. So, let's go over the abilities. I'll leave the modified one for last, because there's a big modified one. Okay. Snow Cloak. Boosts evasion in snow. Flash Fire. Immune to fire. If hit by a fire-type move... Well, no, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I got tripped up by my notations of past me. But basically, if a fire-type move were going to hit you normally, you instead would deal more damage on the next turn. Sandu Force. Boosts damage of ground, steel, and rock-type moves in a sandstorm. And Sturdy. Basically, if it's full HP, it'll live a lethal blow on 1 HP. That is Okay, now it's time for the long one. Now, those that might know Pokemon may realize that there is a consistent theme in the abilities that these three mons can have. All three change the weather to a preferred condition. And yeah, due to the rule about being able to change overlapping abilities, I have made a honestly quite scary sort of combination ability. So basically, the abilities that I have fused together within the fusion is Snow Warning, which the vanilla version sets up the snow for 5 to 8 turns, depending. No, 4 to 8. 4 to 8, yeah. 4 to 8 turns, depending on item. We have Sandstream, which does the same, but for the sandstorm condition. And we have Drought, which does, again, the same, but for harsh sunlight. Basically, I fused all of these weathers together in the concept that, so when this Pokemon's sent out, it summons a weather that has the effects of snow, so the double defense for ice types. Yeah, so this is where the typing decision came in. Yeah, so it doubles ice's defense. It also doubles rock defense, so 4 times defense at the moment. Oh yeah, and Sandstorm also deals residual damage to all non-rock steel ground type moves unless they have like an ability or safety goggles. And then Drought, which makes fire type moves more powerful and water weaker. It also Drought, the harsh sunlight also like allows for certain certain moves, primarily, well, actually none that these can get, but like Solar Beam, Soul Blade, and Synthesis all have great synergy with Sun. Oh yeah, and this new fusion weather condition also lasts for the entirety of whilst this Pokemon is on the field. So, Primordial Sea, but with a bunch of random weathers in it. Yep. Anyway, let's head on to the stats. The total is 640, being actually mostly quite split. So HP, attack, and defense are from Gigalith. Special attack and special defense are from Cantonian Ninetales, and the speed is from Alolan Ninetales. So 85 base HP, 135 base attack, 130 base defense, 81 special attack, 100 special defense, and 109 speed. Yeah. Again, there's no notation for this. Because, I mean, it's relatively simple, and all that there is has already been explained, I think. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. This is the first fusion in the video that has an alternate form. In this video that has an alternate form, so I have 2 buttons to click for the thingo. This is a fusion. I'm just gonna give you the name straight up. It's called Darkest Soul. I'm guessing you can, if you're familiar with Pokemon, you might be able to tell which one of these Pokemon. But anyway, Darkest Soul is a fusion between Eternatus, Wo-Chien, and Tinglu. So, you can probably tell how fecking bulky this is gonna be. Well, that is, if you are aware of Pokemon. It is a poison dark type, so only one weakness, that being to ground, which I am just realizing has, this fusion actually has coverage for, because Wo-Chien learns Giga Drain and usually runs it, so that might have been an error on my part, but anyway, the abilities. We have 2 abilities of Ruin, which do basically the same thing, but for different stats. In this fusion in particular, we have Tablets and Vessel. Yeah, basically they weaken a stat for all but itself. Tablets is attack, Vessel is special attack. Oh yeah, and it's not a stat change, so it stacks with -6. Then we have the only other ability this one gets, and it's Pressure. Okay, here we go. Time to rant about Pressure. It is an ability that is decent and more consistent than a nerve, but it is, in my opinion, very overlookable, because what Pressure does is it makes moves that usually consume 1 power point to use the move now consume 2 power points. So, yeah. I mean, I guess on this, it pulls it together because it basically halves the lifespan of the opponent, because you have half the amount of PP, and then you struggle because you don't have any moves, and then you get hit with the recoil. So I guess it's alright in this case. I don't know, I'm still not a fan of it too much. And, if you were curious, it has the same stat spread as Eternamax Eternatus, because literally none of the other 3 Pokemon within this 3-way fusion has any stats better. So, yeah. If you are unfamiliar with Eternamax Eternatus' stats, it is the highest base stat total, being 1,125. Not even joking. In HP, we have just a measly 225. In attack, yeah, just a mediocre 150. In both of the defense stats, so special defense and defense, yeah, just a measly 250. Combined with Tablet and Vessels of Ruin. Yeah. Yeah. Then we have 125 base special attack and 130 speed. So overall, not that high of stats. If you couldn't tell by my laughing, I am being sarcastic about how quote-unquote low these stats are. Because, yeah, they are obscene. And this one, unlike all the previous ones featured in this video, actually has an other section. So I shall read what I've written word for word unless I stuff up. Ruination, Dynamax Cannon, and Eternabeam combine into Eternaruin. Base 155, 100% accurate. Dragon. Hits 2 times. The first deals damage normally. The second hit deals 75% of the target's current HP. This move cannot be used on the next turn. So, it has the same drawback as Gigaton Hammer, and a move we'll come to later. But yeah, basically, it hits for normal damage, so you get 150, and then it has a second hit that deals 75% of the remaining HP. So, if it's bulky enough to survive, it will not die. That just sounded... anyway. On to the next boy. Now, I just want to put something out there because it is a little funny. You know what? I'm just gonna show you. Hold on, what's display capture? Oh, spoilers. Sorry. But yeah, next we have Crescent Jackal, which, if I make this larger, I guess. Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of these are spelt differently, and I don't know how to change it. So, yeah, that's something. How do I... Oh yeah, I just drag it back in. And then I just... Oh. Okay. But this fusion is not really designed to be good and bad. It's just a fusion Pokemon that I like that is made somewhat good. So the fusion of Crescent Jackal is Lucario, Unovian Zoroark, and Salamence. The one thing that can beat a Palkia, apparently. Actually, wait, no, Google fix that. Shoot, that joke doesn't land now. Anyway, if you get the joke, just, yeah. Crescent Jackal. It is a Dragon Steel type. The abilities include Illusion. Enters the battle as a facade of what the last thingo in your party is. So, like, if I had a Lucario in the back, or a base Salamence, and I brought this thing in, it will come in as the Salamence, which is at the end of the party. So, yeah. Intimidate. -1 opponent Pokemon's, -1 attack to the opponent when this Pokemon enters. Moxie. +1 whenever this Pokemon gets a KO. +1 in attack, to be precise. Aerial 8. Normal type moves become flying type. And also gain bonus, as if they were stab. So, yeah. Steadfast. When this Pokemon would be otherwise flinched, raises its speed by 1 instead. I don't remember if that's one of the abilities I changed, probably is, because next we have Inner Focus. When a Pokemon, when this Pokemon would be flinched, +1 in attack instead. Yeah, but that is, yeah, there's not much to say about it. I don't remember if or which one I changed, if either. Probably either one. I don't remember. But next we have Justify. +1 in attack when hit by a Dark type move. Pretty simple. And finally, we have a repeating ability. Adaptability. Again, the stab is 2 times instead of 1 time, so basically free extra damage. Anyway, now it's time for Listats. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, the total is 700. Pretty simple. The HP is Salamance's, which is 95. Attack is from Mega Lucario, which is 145. Defense is surprisingly Mega Salamence at 130. Special attack is Zoroark at 120. Special defense is from Mega Salamence, which is 90. And then speed is also from Mega Salamence, which is 120. Again, there's no like additional notes. So, yeah. Anyway, time for the final fusion. However, I will just point out that this fusion contains Pokemon from the recently released Teal Mask DLC for Scarvio. So, if you are not aware of some of the new things in that DLC, or you're trying to go in spoiler-free, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. But for those that are staying, behold, an actually absurdly goodly, an offensive threat that is just obscenely powerful for little to no reason because of the combination I have provided. Now, let us see this final behemoth. So, this fusion is called Masked Bear. Those that are aware of the Pokemon might be able to determine the Pokemon. But here we go. The first Pokemon. Ursaluna. Not really a new Pokemon, but it got a new random variation, which you can see at the bottom. It is called Blood Moon Ursaluna. So, yeah. Sorry about that. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I guess Blood Moon Ursaluna. Introduced in the Teal Mask, and accessible via a random side quest that you can do once you've caught, like, once you've registered 150 Pokemon to the DLC Pokédex. Yes. Alright. But it's also a fusion of Urshifu. And finally, this one's gonna take a bit to click, because there's 4 of them. Ah, damn it, missed. Okay. Ogre Pawn. So, yeah. For those that don't know, Ogerpon can change forms depending on, like, the mask it's given to hold as a held item. This is its most natural state. This one was flipped by accident, and I don't know how to fix it. But yeah, time to talk about Masked Bear. So, yeah, those are the components. It's a normal fighting type. So, yeah. For abilities, we have a lot of them. Like, a lot of them. Okay, so, Mind's Eye, the signature ability of Blood Moon Ursaluna. Ignores evasion on opponents, and cannot have its accuracy lowered. Also just is scrappy as well. So it's just better scrappy. Yeah. Then we have Water Absorb. Heals instead of taking damage from water type moves. Pretty simple. We then have Sturdy, which I've already talked about, but it is the ability to just negate lethal damage from fall. Then we have Mole Breaker. Again, a repeating ability, but again, can hit Storm Drain Gastrodon with Water Move. Then we have Defiant. When a stat is dropped, raises attack by 2 stages. Cool. We'll skip that big, complicated, changed one for the moment. And we'll go to Unseen Fists. Bypasses protect-like moves. Yeah. So, basically, you can't protect in front of this thing because it'll hit you anyway. That's basically it. We have Guts. Again. So, yeah. Guts, again, is, boosts attack when has certain status conditions. We then have Bulletproof. Immunity to bullet, ball, and or bomb-based moves. What do those entail? I don't know off the top of my head. Probably like Shadow Ball, Bullet Punch, maybe. I don't know what classifies it, but this dude's immune. And then, funny little Unnerve. Opponent cannot eat berries. Okay. Now, there is still an ability. However, I will wait until I talk about the move, because the move interacts with the ability much like the move King Shield reacts to Aegislash's stance change. So, yeah. Stat time. The base stat total is 731. Pretty respectable. The HP and attack come from, like, base Ursaluna. The defense and the special attack come from the Blood Moon variation of Ursaluna. And then the other two stats are from Oegapon, which is the funny mask dude, for funny mask dudes. Yeah. Okay, time to talk about the other category. So, this new Ursaluna has a signature move called Blood Moon, and it is quite strong. Basically, in the vanilla version, Blood Moon basically is just a delete button that cannot be used twice. Yeah. But in this other section, Blood Moon, Surging Strikes, and Wicked Blow combine into Surging Blood Blow, which is base 40, 100% accurate, normal type move. So, on the first turn of using it, charges, granting +1 in a random stat. And then, in the next turn, it attacks, with taking into consideration the buffed stat. However, if it is inflicted with the same statuses that trigger Guts, it attacks on the same turn. Yeah. Oh yeah, it also always crits and hits 3 times, and deals either physical or special damage, depending on which of the fusions stat is higher. Oh yeah, and it can't be used twice in a row. Yeah. And then we have the second signature move, which comes from the signature move of Oegapon over there, just chilling with its funny masks. But its move has been changed to Adopt, which is a base 100% accurate move that deals damage based on the secondary type. Okay? Which, in this case, is fighting. Until it's not. Okay, let's head back to the ability that I skipped. Embody Aspect. In the base game, it is saved for specifically the terrestrial variations of the masks of Oegapon, which basically, when parabolizing, the ability changes to this embody aspect, and yeah, basically each of the 4 have a different effect. However, yeah, I just sort of squished all 4 together to create this, so I'll read what I have the ability as. Changes the fighting type of this Pokemon to either grass, fire, rock, or water, depending on type matchup. Boosts a respective stat: water special defense, rock defense, fire attack, grass speed. Yeah. Those are actually... So the typing is actually base Oegapon stuff. So the top one is like pure grass, and when it parabolizes, it gains the speed boost. Next we have the water grass, one, which does special defense, Fireboy's attack, and is Gross Fire, and you can probably figure out Stony Boy. But yeah, the reason I bring up this ability now is because if the target is weak to fighting, grass, rock, water, or fire, triggers a type change to that type, which also triggers embodies aspects effect as well. Oh yeah, and the move also has a high chance to crit and deals split damage depending on how you build it. Yeah. So, basically, not only does this Pokemon just have a chilling, just have a delete button chilling there, but it also has the ability to change on the fly. So, yeah. That's something. Anyway, I'll turn these off and do a bit of an outro. Again, I have no idea how long to really have these outros go on for, where the outscreen doesn't... Wait, outscreen? Yeah, outscreen, sure. We'll call it an outscreen. But the outscreen just doesn't overlap with stuff. I don't know. But yeah, as per... again, as with the previous installation of this, I guess it's a sort of... no, this is... but yeah, much like the prequel to the sequel, if you have any ideas on fusions that follow the rules that I've been using, please type them in the below comments. Yep. And I may make it well, at the moment it's just concepts, but eventually maybe will be turned into like a tangible concept, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I wish you luck with whatever you wish to accomplish. And with that, that is all.